What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Karus.
And this is The Last of Us. You ready emotionally?
Depends what happens this episode, I guess.
That's fair. We're a little late on this one. Clara's completely lost her voice on the plane because that plane air conditioning was strong.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was rough.
They were really pushing us. But we survived. We survived a month in Japan. We did not break up over the Japanese subway system, which is a TikTok I saw that honestly seems a bit crazy. The Japanese subway system is fairly easy to understand.
I've seen like 6 of those TikToks and I'm like, are y'all okay?
Yeah.
Like, it's color-coded.
People are like, if your relationship can survive traveling in Japan, I'm like, it's like a clean country with almost no crime, great food, and a very helpful population of people. Like, Japanese people will... I find those TikToks very confusing.
Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? What are you actually fighting about?
Yeah. There's also so much English. Very weird.
We only got lost once our whole month there.
Yeah, and we weren't in a rush that time.
Yeah.
When we were in a rush and I was paying more attention, we were good. Anyway, my point is, Japan is not as scary as some TikToks make it out to be.
No. It was very fun. We'll talk about it on Friday.
Yeah.
If you want to come by the live stream.
But now we're all healthy and excited to be emotionally devastated by The Last of Us.
Great.
Where we last left off, our intrepid heroes were somewhere north of Seattle, apparently. I don't know Seattle that well, but people were like, why did they approach from the north when they came from the south? I want to answer that question really fast before we get into this reaction. If you are chasing somebody, right, into their house, and they know what direction you might be coming from, maybe don't come from that direction. I think Ellie and Dina were being smart by circling around a bit, hitting Seattle from a slightly different direction, instead of just walking in the direction that they think they might be coming from.
That's fair.
Simple as that. Let's dive into this.
Maybe there was infected over there. Like...
Yeah. You think Ellie's scared of the infected? Nah. She's like, pa-pow, pa-pow, pa-pow. Clickers? Not anymore. This is The Last of Us. If you want that full-length reaction, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't stay here, because you're already here, this video is about to begin.
Abby.
Ellie. Ba 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 ba.
And you guys know me, like I'm fucking easy on voting.
Oh, that guy.
I didn't expect to just hard cut to Josh Peck.
Fucking head against the wall. There goes his teeth. Just blood fucking.
Hilarious.
Jeez, boy.
Police brutality.
The military.
I don't know. Because that's what we fucking call them. Who cares?
Because we took away their rights. Took away their right to vote, and somebody started calling them voters to mock them.
I didn't mean anything by it, Sergeant.
Of course you didn't. You're thoughtless.
I love him so much. Oh, fuck.
Come with me. Learn something.
You don't seem like a total asshole. I think you might help.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
What?! It was so casual!
Now make your choice.
Wow.
Woo! Alright, here's some grenades and door
One
close.
for you, one for you.
You get a grenade, you get a grenade, everybody gets a grenade! That was awesome.
That was something.
Wow. What a perfect little short film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like an incredible little story told very quickly.
Yep.
Isaac's an important character. How do we explain as much as we can about him as fast as possible. And we do it by killing off Josh Peck of Drake and Josh. Oh, fuck. Joel's not there anymore. Mm-hmm. Was that last episode? I don't think I noticed it last episode.
I don't remember. It probably was also there, not last episode.
It is nice not to be on our laptop and now on our nice monitor again. This is the real Last of Us experience. It's just looting and not finding much.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm gonna pee! Give me a minute!
Oh, she means that literally. Right.
What?
Do you remember the game? Okay.
You okay? Yeah. Alright, hit it. People to kill.
I'm not gonna lie. I am falling in love with Dina. She's great.
Oh, yeah.
She is very charming.
Yeah.
What's up with all the rainbows? I don't know. Maybe they were all optimists.
Well.
Hey, they didn't bomb the gays. That's great.
Love that for us.
So much for happy, proud Rainbow Town. I've never seen a tank this close. Me neither.
Oh, yeah, I guess when the apocalypse happened, it wouldn't have been as everywhere as it is now. Like, if the apocalypse happened now, it'd be weird to forget that rainbows are gay.
Yeah, but also it's like, also one of those things where Ellie wasn't even alive yet.
Yeah. I guess gay pride didn't make it into the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well done.
Supposed to be the first ones to go to the moon, but they never made it off the launch pad. Burned up in their capsule.
I do love her sharing her hyper-focus with her crush. What a very neurospicy thing to do.
On horseback in broad daylight, so just a little. So we wait until dark and we head out on foot. Well, no one's around, which you proved brilliantly with your tank hatch maneuver. Dick.
I love Dina gentle parenting Ellie into being a better murderer.
Yeah, right.
What are we doing next?
Yeah.
What are we doing wrong? Do you remember record stores? Truly a period piece. Although not Japan. There are CD stores everywhere in Japan.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They still have physical media.
We don't own a CD player.
Could you play a CD on the PlayStation?
Maybe?
No idea.
Are we going to put a CD into the PlayStation instead of just opening Spotify? We own a bunch of CDs. Like, we own a lot of music. I never listen to any of it.
Yeah.
Shot if somebody tries to kill you. That's the plan.
Hopefully you hear her over your drums.
Yeah.
You were getting there. The guitar playing mechanic in the game deeply frustrated me. It involved like strumming on the map button.
Oh.
Today's another day to find you shying away. Even in the apocalypse, guitar players getting mad pussy.
Yep. Okay, that's fair. You know what? That's fair.
It's the acoustic version.
It's fair.
We don't need to skrelt.
I was like ready for Ellie to just fucking bust it out.
God damn. I want a woman to look at me like that. Holy shit.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a photo real quick.
And you're in the mirror, in the bathroom practicing.
Right. Just gotta like tear up my eyes a little bit.
The problem is I sing around you so much that you're like, nah.
You've gotten pretty good. He taught you well. He did.
Damn. That was well done.
Yeah.
They have running gas?
They're crushing it, babe.
Fucking how?
Williams Sonoma, it's a cookware store. You wouldn't know.
You.
You would know.
It's like the most expensive.
I would think, okay, 30 years to retirement and pension, but one day...
I like ceramic.
The strange benefits of the apocalypse.
I'm so worried he's gonna heat that up and
Yeah.
then use it to...
Yep.
Heats faster than anything.
Fuck. This is gonna get real dark. Credit to that guy for getting his ass kicked and being like, alright, bring it, bitch. If you're gonna have final acts.
Here's the thing. You're getting burned somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Burn every part of you. And you tell me what I want to know!
Oh shit! What a play! Fuck, that was dark. Oh god, Isaac.
Oh, this motherfucker's still around.
The beginning to now and the evil and crazy. That was a very succinct thought I just shared.
We all followed.
I feel like that was pretty clear. That scene was so dark but so well done.
Yeah.
His hand already being out.
And if we run into wolves that weren't in Jackson? Agreed.
Fuck, okay. Try not to cut yourselves on the way in, I guess.
Yeah.
Is Dina gonna be the MVP of this season?
Might be. She's pretty great.
She's pretty fucking great. And her, like, willingness to communicate really helps because Ellie wouldn't,
Yeah.
you know? I love how they're adapting their relationship from the game to the show.
Yeah.
He isn't one of them. No.
Just casually walking into a civil war you know nothing about.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
These aren't any of them either.
But they arranged the lights to be on them.
Yeah.
Dragging them over.
They're meant to be found.
Yeah.
That group we saw in the woods, they did this. What the fuck is wrong with Seattle?
God, can you imagine getting the script as set deck for this?
I don't see Brancaccio or Welch, but yeah. It's the rest of them. You.
Oh, fuck.
Now fan the fuck out!
Alright, now this is The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Except this Ellie does have to play on grounded mode. Tough. Whoa, Dina girl. Okay, here we go.
What a shot.
Yeah. Oh! Shit. Oh, shit! Fuck. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, God. Thank God for the rain. At least they might be able to disappear.
Yeah.
A lot harder to track in the rain. Oh, God. Yeah, the climate in Seattle makes this a nightmare. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, shit. See, this is the problem with taking the fight to someone else's neighborhood. You know what I mean? They know
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a really good scene.
Yeah.
Ooh, watch that rebar sticking out there. All right, girls, time to see if all that training you put in was worth it.
Yeah. That
Or
sucks.
not. Something else might save the day. Dina, I swear to God, if you sneeze...
Yeah, that's what I was... But I think she's counting.
Oh, right.
I thought it was a sneeze at first, too.
Apparently she's the clicker whisperer. The clickerer?
The clickerer.
Well, no, they can't. I don't know that they can climb back up that thing. Oh shit! That's a lot. Oh God. Okay.
That's a bad place to be trapped.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay, let Dina go first. You are immune, girl. Oh, the like sound of the rubber squelching. That's some great sound design.
Jeez. Oh man, that was close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're so fucked.
Nah, Dina's ice cold. Wow. Oh my God, Dina with the upper body strength. Let's go. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh, well done.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. That was fun. This is why I love horror. You know what I mean? That when the tension is right, it's so right. No. Oh no. Oh.
Well, Dina knows now.
Dina doesn't know. Oh God. Time to have an awkward conversation. Oh, Dina. Oh, Dina. Oh. Oh, Dina. Oh.
It's gonna be a real awkward conversation.
I get Dina's thought though of like, I have to kill. Oh fuck, I gotta kill her.
It's not perfect, but if anyone tries to get in, I'll buy someone.
Oh, Dina.
Fuck, I'm immune. I can't get infected. Dina, do not fucking shoot me!
Damn, that was awesome. That was electric. Ah, fuck.
It's just water. Rain fell on my face, that's all.
Ah.
I'm gonna stand up now.
What a way to frame this. So you can't see Dina's response. Fucking so brilliant.
I know.
What a fucking look. Well done.
I'm pregnant.
Well, that's a time to reveal it. Maybe wait in case the saliva... Okay. Wow.
You know, it's been a stressful night.
Yeah.
They learned about gay pride earlier.
She was still bitten.
Yeah, but she's immune.
But does that mean that she can't transfer it? like, is that something she would know?
Yeah.
Because clearly by biting, it's transferred through saliva, right?
No, in the show, it's transferred through the cordyceps in the mouth, right?
Yeah, which is in the saliva.
But if she doesn't have cordyceps in her mouth, then...
Right.
So, did they finger
With
through the
clothes
pants?
Well, no, she put her...
Or no, but like...
But yeah,
But then
it seems
stay
like
clothed?
they kept all of their clothes on for this, yes.
What a rough first time.
Beefy.
Beefy?
Is beef jerky breath better than morning breath?
I wouldn't mix the two.
Like, they fucked, and she didn't even unbutton one button on her shirt.
I knew how you felt about me. How? I was hiding it really well. No, you kind of fucking weren't.
No, you weren't.
I told my mother I like boys and I like girls. And she said, no, you like boys. He wasn't the one. Still kept trying anyway.
You also only have so many options in your town. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Which I've never been regular, but I was very late. And then...
I imagine most women aren't regular in the apocalypse.
Be very stressful, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I don't just randomly piss on stuff. Oh, okay. That's good.
This thing's pretty old. How do you know? And here. And here's a couple more.
Just to be sure.
So, we're having a baby.
Wow.
Also, I guess, Jesse here. It was Jesse, right?
Ellie!
So we're all having a baby. Holy shit. I'm gonna be a dad. That's Lake Hill, but I don't know where we are anymore. Okay, we go up high and we look around. Come on.
Huh. Okay. Rough episode for the anti-woke crowd, hey? It's just like a cute lesbian relationship.
I know. There's got to be one in every season, right? We had
Yeah.
a gay one, now we got a lesbian one.
Yeah, if you made it past episode 3 of season 1, like... Damn, it's fucking all-out war.
It's different now.
Yes, it is.
Will you please just think about it?
He's like, you're carrying my baby. Damn.
All right.
Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! La dollar beans! What? It's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is fun to watch, you know,
It's fun to watch.
lesbians get to be bad people on TV too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, for so long we've said that we support women's rights and also women's wrongs, and
Yeah.
this show is the show where we get to support women's wrongs.
Exactly. You know, it's all about the freedom to choose.
No. I mean, I think both of them are crushing it. Their relationship is, you know, a little weird in that I really am hung up on the fact that they fucked and kept their clothes immaculately in position the way that they did. Like,
Well-
that throws me off genuinely a little bit.
Yeah, but okay, so like imagine you live in the apocalypse, right? And you're like down a bone, but also like there are zombies outside. If you get caught with your clothes off, that can get real embarrassing. You know what I mean?
I get that. But the way that they woke up implies that they undid the buttons at the top of their jeans, got their hands down in there,
Yeah.
and then before cuddling and falling asleep, did their jeans back up.
Well, yeah, you don't want it just flapping open. That would be uncomfortable.
But if you're awake enough, like if the idea is that you fuck and then you like pass out at the end of it, which let's be real, that's not how sex works, right? You never finish sex and then you're like, I'm immediately gonna fall asleep. You're like, I'm wet in places I don't want to be wet.
Those jeans would be very uncomfortable.
They would not be comfortable.
Yeah, but again, it's an apocalypse.
If you're doing a good job, which look, I think Ellie's doing a good job,
Yeah,
right? I
probably.
think that they are going for it. I think that
Dina
Dina would
needs some
probably want to
practice,
change her panties before falling asleep.
They might not have extra underwear.
They have they prepped for this.
Yeah, but
Dina is not hard rocking the same panties from Jackson to Seattle.
no, I know. I just mean like there are only so many pairs of panties like that you can pack before it starts to take up water and food ration room. So like
That's not true. Like I fundamentally disagree with that. Panties, look, my boxers take up a significant amount of space. Panties don't. They
what, you think they're
don't.
just rocking like seamless thongs in the apocalypse?
I'm saying you can have 5 or 6 pairs pretty decently
yeah.
tucked into a very small space.
But like they took a month to get there.
Oh, the horse is gone.
Yes.
Fuck, right. Yeah, they don't have access to their saddlebags. Maybe the panties were in the saddlebags.
Maybe.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, none of that matters. The episode's very good. I really love the storytelling of it. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little thrown off by Josh Peck. I almost feel like he's too. I get that it's a fun cameo.
Yeah, but it was one of those. I was
It
like,
did throw me off.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I'm glad it was like the cold open and not in the middle of like an episode. I feel like that would have felt weirder. But I was like, oh, like you said, it's like this is its own brilliant little short film to introduce a new character, which I thought was really well done.
It was just It's just because I associate him so hard with like Disney Channel.
Yeah.
That I was like, what the fuck are you doing on HBO, bud?
HBO.
And I know he's grown up. He's an incredible actor. Like, I get all that. I was just like, oh.
Surprise.
Oh, yeah, because we're killing Josh Peck. But the scene with Isaac, like, Isaac's disdain for the younger soldiers was so cool. And then leading into him being like, you're not like the others, so you're going to come with me really quick, because I am about to murder them, and I want to give you a chance.
Yeah.
To become them.
Yeah, because he was, like, clearly uncomfortable and, like, asked an important question. So Isaac was like, hey, maybe this guy can be helped.
But in helping him, Isaac
radicalized
him back into one of those guys. Like, all the Ellie and Dina stuff in this episode is great. The combat was great. The tenseness, the tension, I loved all of it. But the best part of this episode to me is Isaac saving that man from becoming one of those soldiers, only for him to still end up one of those soldiers because of Isaac.
Yeah.
Right? Like the very, very unsaid story of radicalized violence begets radicalization, right? And that you can't actually escape the cycle with more violence is so important to the themes of The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
It is so important to the story as a whole that violence does not save you from becoming violent.
Yeah.
Right? Is so wildly important. It's what this show is about.
Yeah.
And I just think that it was encapsulated so well in that nervous young man becoming, the most devout in, Isaac's calling this guy a cultist, right? The scars, not realizing that he has also formed his own cult and is maybe not looking in the mirror as well as he should because he's too busy polishing his copper cookware so that he can torture people with it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just feel like there's so many other ways and not waste good cookware, but
I don't think it's a waste.
I'm not gonna cook on it later.
Well, he's burning it with like the underside, right?
I don't want to have the fumes of melting human flesh in my food.
I don't think that's how it works.
Maybe it's not, but I wouldn't be able to look at food I cook on that later without thinking about the deeply melted human flesh on the bottom side.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I hear you. But it's also the apocalypse. I don't know how much spare cookware they've got, so...
No, for sure.
You use what you can.
I appreciate them. Look, in the game it's really fun. And maybe goes against the themes of The Last of Us. Well, one of the problems with The Last of Us 2 is that the, like, the storytelling about like violence not being great is a little bit undermined by the fact that because it's a video game, you
kill a lot.
untold amounts of violence.
Yeah.
and it is the tension that the game runs in trying to tell this story about how violence is bad, while also needing there to be mandatory violence in order for the game's mechanics to make any sense.
Yeah.
However, the show doesn't need to do that. Ellie does not need to murder every single person who hears her make a noise in any scene. And so the storytelling of Ellie and Dina escaping these situations without systematically spending time in each room, slowly and methodically killing every single person one at a time, really works for me.
Yeah.
Them fleeing from situations and being more intentional about the people they are killing and who they want to kill actually does help tell the story of The Last of Us 2 better than the game does.
Yeah.
Where by the time you actually get to kill any of the 5 WLF, like, you know, the main people who help kill Joel, the idea that you're on a righteous quest of revenge is a little bit lost in just how many people you've murdered.
Yeah.
And dogs. God, I don't
Yeah.
like killing the dogs in that game. And so the show not being tied to game mechanics is actually helping it make the case for what the story is about.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very clear in the kind of watchtower into subway tunnel scene here, and I thought that was well done.
Yeah, like they took out those 2 people, but only out of like sheer necessity, right?
Yeah, at the moment where they've only thus far killed in do or die situations.
Yeah.
It's never been frivolous or like. It's never felt. One of the things about it is that it hasn't felt like they've tried to gamify the show.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes video game adaptations try and make the show feel like the video game.
Yeah.
And I actually think that this show leans away from that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it tries to make the action sequence feel like the video game action sequences feel at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's to its benefit. It really feels like a television show of a similar story.
Yeah.
And I think that's really working for me, particularly because, as I've said multiple times this episode, and I've been feeling this season so far, I think the actress who plays Dina is the secret sauce.
Yeah.
I really do. And this is not to say that Bella's not doing a great job. They are. I think they are a very talented actor. But they are in the tougher position of playing the, like, aggrieved, broody one.
Yeah.
And they're holding down the main character syndrome a little bit. And so what is...
You need a Dina to
Yeah.
balance out that, like, darkness.
I think that Batman needs Robin.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And in a lot of comics, obviously in the movies they don't do it as much, because Alfred usually kind of takes that role.
Yeah.
But you need to have someone that the main character can communicate to in a medium like this, because unlike in a comic book where it's just Batman, or unlike in a video game where Ellie's by themselves, there's no internal dialogue.
Yeah.
There's no Ellie just randomly talking to the air constantly so that you feel like you're with them.
Yeah.
And so I think that the casting of Dina, I think she is crushing it.
Yeah.
Her smile on camera is fucking electric.
Yeah.
The watching the guitar playing was so emotionally resonant and so like hopeful for the two of them.
Yeah.
And then the heartbreak in her eyes when she's pointing a gun at Ellie later on.
Yeah.
Like stole the episode.
Yeah.
And I really think she's kind of the MVP of the season right now for me in terms of like helping turn this game story into a show story and make it really work as a TV show. I think she's wonderful on screen.
Yeah, no, she's phenomenal. One thing that like I have noticed just being on Twitter, when the show's coming out, obviously people were like, why is Bella Ellie when they don't look anything like the video game, blah blah blah, like all that jazz. But like Dina looks nothing like the video game either, and I haven't seen a single person mention that. It's really interesting that people will find something that they don't like, right?
I don't know. That's pretty good.
No, that doesn't look. No, that does not look anything like her.
I think it's pretty good.
She has darker skin. That is the only feature that they share. Like really. Like, maybe face... No, her face is more round, for sure.
It's a little bit more round. I don't know. I don't care about that.
No,
so,
but
like,
I'm saying that,
you know,
like, that for some reason the internet decided to make that their, like, culture war because they don't like that Bella is non-binary.
I don't think that's it. I think that it is...
Really?
No, I don't. I genuinely don't think that's it. I think that it is a reaction to In the difference between Dina and Ellie,
Yeah.
right? I don't think the non-binary thing is as big a deal because the people who are bugged by the non-binary thing are also going to be bugged by the fact that this is about lesbians at all. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine there's a lot of people who are super pro-lesbian but are upset about someone having non-binary pronouns.
There are gay people that are like, trans people aren't part of blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
but even those people aren't, like, the non-binary isn't as much an issue for them. Like, their bigger problem is, like, transitioning people,
Look,
right?
I
And not that
don't
non-binary
understand
people
it
don't
at all.
transition at all. I don't want to, but I think that with the difference between Ellie and Dina to me is that there's a lot of people who, because you play with Ellie in the first game as Joel, have a, like, I don't want to say parasocial because it's not quite parasocial in the same way that like a Twitch streamer relationship is with their audience.
No, but
But
I get what you mean.
There's a relationship between you and that character that too many people sexualize, but that is built on an amount of time spent one-on-one between you as Joel and Ellie as a character.
Yeah.
That when you're playing as Ellie, A, it's just not as much time with Dina, and B, by the time you're playing as Ellie with Dina across from you, your relationship as the gamer is still Joel with Ellie, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's a bigger part. Like, people don't like that Ellie doesn't look like Ellie to them. Again, one, because they don't think Bella's hot enough, which I think is a very weird thing to say about a character who's a child.
Yeah, I know.
But, and if you're like, but she's 19 in the second game, a 19-year-old's a child. I hate to break it to you. But I do also think that it's an importance to the audience kind of factor. Having said that, everyone's gonna have different reasons for why they feel the way they feel. I don't really care if they look like they're
Oh no, I
video
don't.
game counterparts. Like, that doesn't matter to me.
I just think that it is very interesting, the difference in discourse between those two characters and their actors.
And this goes back to, I think that there are people who sexualize Ellie who would never have sexualized Dina because, and oh god, people are gonna comment about this. I also think there's a lot of people who do not care about Dina as a character because she's a person of color, and they care about Ellie because she's a white girl. And
Maybe, yeah.
That's gonna be, people are gonna take that how they're gonna take that. But I think that, like, the people who are upset about that are going to be the people who are like, well, I would never sleep with a lesbian of color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Dina doesn't matter to them in the same way that their fictionalized, like, emotional relationship with Ellie does to them.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's healthy or right. I'm again, I'm not advocating for this.
No.
I am simply trying to understand why people care so much about Ellie as a character.
Yeah.
Too much. Let's be real. Too much. People are too into this series. And I love this series. I'm a big fan. But, like, I'm also a fan of being told a story. And I think that one of the problems with modern culture is that we get too invested in what we want. And we're very entitled about storytelling.
Yeah.
And
this story did not play out how I wanted it to benefit me, and therefore it's bad. It has nothing to do with the story itself. It's just not what I wanted, and therefore it cannot be good because of that.
Well, and, like, even with, like, Thunderbolts, no spoilers for Thunderbolts, but there is a character death in that movie. And people are like, I can't believe that they did that. And I'm like, why? Like, why have we gotten to the point where we as the audience can't accept death in media because we're sad about, like, we've gotten to the point where anytime anything happens in a story, there are people who are like, well, that shouldn't have happened. And I'm like, it's a fictional tale that somebody is trying to tell you, right? Like, this idea, and I'm not immune to it, right? I think that I've done it too. I definitely, usually I come from a place of, like, that didn't really serve the story.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that that's an argument that can be made. But, like, there are people now who, like, anytime a character dies are like, well, people just shouldn't die in things. And I'm like, that's a really tough take.
Yeah.
Or you know, like, we got into this with Wheel of Time with the whole bury your gays trope. And I'm like, guys, we cannot get to a point narratively where gay characters can't die.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and characters, like, it's the stakes of the story are very high. People die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was on the side of, like, there were characters in Wheel of Time that shouldn't have died, right? Like, I'm not even, but my reasoning wasn't they're gay, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gay. Guys, I'm not advocating for gay characters to die, but, like, I am advocating for death to exist in storytelling because I think that it is important, particularly in stories like this where, like, shit's dark. If death isn't on the table, then things stop
Then it doesn't
mattering.
matter. Yeah.
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 And unless you're like a show like One Piece where, like, the what is on the table is dreams, and like the purpose of that show is to talk about something else, and death isn't really a part of the show. There are lines, right? Like, I don't think everything needs to be about death, but The Last of Us kind of does. You know what I mean? Like, this show does. And so, you know, and the Wheel of Time there's multiple wars going on. Like, the death is a part of that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I hear you though. I do think there is definitely something very odd in the fan base of this game in particular.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It almost feels like that first game awakened paternal instincts or maternal instincts in people towards Ellie in a way that has led them to behave as if Ellie is their actual child, and that they need to defend her like a crazy parent.
Maybe, yeah.
And I don't know what Neil Druckmann tapped into to get people to behave the way that they do, but I don't actually know another franchise where people respond at all like The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's yeah. It's not cute a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I get loving something, but yeah, there's definitely some weirdness around this particular franchise that sometimes brings out the worst in people, which is an interesting theme that The Last of Us does explore, but people seem to have forgotten about that.
Well, and like the crazy thing is that this is an entire franchise about how violence is bad, and
and people took away
like,
from this, I'm going to threaten Laura Bailey's child with death.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
not even Laura Bailey. A fucking literal
That's what I
child.
said, yes.
No. I know. I'm agreeing with you.
I was like, I
like,
just said that.
It's one thing to... No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, like, it's not like they were like, fuck you, Laura Bailey, which, unfortunately, like, we get death threats. Like, if you put yourself online in any way, shape, or form, you're gonna... That is an unfortunate part of it. But, like, Laura Bailey's kid, like, it's so malicious.
I know.
And it's, like, I've never... And I'm sure that people in the comments can be like, well, this person's kid also got death threats for X, Y, Z. I'm sure it's happened before.
Sure.
But Laura Bailey, that is the only one I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
As public as it was. And I'm like, guys, it's a fucking video game.
Video game that says, hey, maybe violence is bad.
That's literally about how the cycle of violence never ends unless you stop being... Like, it is literally about how you have to stop being violent for this... Intentionally non-violent for violence to end.
Yeah.
And people got away from that and they were like, I'm gonna hurt a kid. And it's just wild.
I know.
Anyway, this episode was very good.
Banging. Banging.
You know, the last episode was a little slower. It needed to be.
Yeah.
But I think that the season thus far has had a really good pace to it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think that you need to have that ebb and flow, right? If you're go all the time, it can feel exhausting and draining. But obviously things still need to, like, move along, and I think that the balance has been great so far this season.
I'm so curious now because I just found out there's only 7 episodes this season. So I only have 3 more. I'm so curious where it ends. Like, that to me is a big question mark.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I have a feeling they're going to end up going 5 seasons. Or 4 seasons.
I thought they were only doing 3.
I think they'll do 4. Because I at this pace they're going, there's so much game left.
Yeah.
Like we're not even a third of the way into the second game.
Do you think that season 3 will be all Abby's POV?
No.
No, they're not gonna do that.
No, I don't think they will. I think that it would be too jarring. And I think that we're going to get... I think we're going to get a season 4, and I think that season 4 will cover the last. I don't want to spoil the game. It's tough to talk about, but like I do think that I think we'll get 3 more seasons out of this based on the pace that they're taking this right now. And what they seem to be interested in telling in terms of like the cold opens not being flashbacks about Ellie but about other characters.
Yeah.
I think that the way that they're exploring other characters, I think there's room for them to dive in really deep into what they're trying to tell, and I'm excited for it. I think it's working out for them in a really big bad way.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah. Very cool. Very well done. Very exciting. I cannot wait for Sunday night. Like, oh man, Dina's pregnant, man.
Yep.
What's next? If you like the video, that's why I meant by literally she's peeing.
Yeah, I got
stick,
that.
yeah.
I got that.
Like the video, like, subscribe, do that. Dislike, mean comments down below because the algorithm got us hungry. We must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is Dina. God, she was great. Yeah. She really was great this whole episode.
Oh yeah.
If you want to follow us on the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
Hey, do something nerdy tonight. Bye.